planted here at the JCC in Sherman, and I am so pleased to say that they have only gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. So thank you all so much for coming. I cannot tell you how much it means to me and Cindy to see all of you lovely people here tonight. So thank you so much. And thank you for coming out and braving this cold, cold weather season of winter's retreat. Couldn't be a more perfect night, except for maybe tomorrow when it's going to be 0 degrees outside, but that is neither here nor there. So, Cindy and I would like to encourage all of you to really listen to the words that are shared tonight. Take a moment, meditate, feel deeply. In this season, it's really easy to disregard what you're feeling and just kind of keep going through the motions. But we want this to be a night of relief, a night of reprieve. So we are very grateful, like I said, to the JCC in Sherman for hosting us so far every season, and we do hope to come back in spring. If you are able, please donate. I know you guys got charged at the door, which is a huge step for us. And again, thank you all so much for coming. And if you are able, please do donate to the JCC so we can continue supporting their mission, so they can continue supporting us in our mission. Thank you always to Megan, I see you in the back, for doing all of the lovely marketing, for planning and organizing. Cindy and I would be absolutely lost without you. And special thanks to our musicians, Dave, George, Bernie, and Mike, and to our featured acts, who you will hear from in a little bit. There will be an open mic portion. We don't have very many people signed up, which is fine, but we would love for you to share some things. It does not have to be poetry. If you want to get up and share a few thoughts, words, feelings, emotions, whatever, we're open to it. And to kick things off, I would like to invite my dear friend and co-host, Cindy Davis, up here.
I'm ready.
Listen. 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 Hear winter's call. It's brrr, echoing, echoing, telling winter's tale, silenced in season's retreat. Contrast lay extreme, for in the distance, vastness stretched, etched, barren, frozen, endless. Starkness merged in emptiness, witnessed in silver gray. Impermanence permeates, brittled, battered, broken. Snow's crystals cracked, laying scattered, remnants of frozen night's gray. Yet there stands solitude's silhouette, sounding a gentler serenade, heard her words, be still. Be still. Be still. Whispered between twilight's masquerade, stilled a deepened silence, pausing, spawning, wanting a why in understanding of reflections, yearning, searching for meaning. So, when winter winds bellow, remember to hear. To feel, to know, the stillness within this season's retreat.
Thank you, Cindy. Another round of applause for Cindy. All right, next, we are going to start our open mic portion. Now, I have no problem going first, but if someone else would like to go first, I welcome any of those who have signed up. We have Mike Latini, George, William, Mike Pugh, Christopher, and Dave. Okay, I will go first. Now, I'm going to get a little angry, and I invite you all to get a little angry with me. I cannot help but look at these headlines recently and just, my heart breaks. So, I present to you how to love yourself in a Trump America. Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, I watched the TV in horror, realizing 77 million people in my country are against me. Knowing that by morning, I would wake up and pick up my protest signs again. My fellow Americans, we cannot give up hope because Trump is president again. In fact, it means we must work harder for justice now more than ever. It is our time to rise up, to gather together, to bust out our pitchforks and torches. Learning to love yourself in a Trump America is learning to fight, as directed by my editor, to take self-defense classes, though she does not want to scare me. She just wants me to be safe out there when I'm reporting on all kinds of stories, not just political. Learning to love yourself in a Trump America means evaluating where you can start to organize. It's marches and movements. It's a big, ugly deer roaring its big, ugly head, its horns spearing the air. He says, we live in a democracy. Okay, Mr. President, we got shit to say. My fellow Americans, I refuse to believe the American people will stay silent as the presidency pulls us backwards after we fought so hard to go forward. Dear Trump, we will never stop protesting about you. We will never stop shutting down highways. We live and breathe to make your commute to the Oval Office a living hell. I refuse to stand by and silently watch you wreak havoc on the people who have built this country. Los mexicanos, los boricuas, y los dominicanos. The immigrants that built these streets brick by brick. The women that birthed them. I'll say it again. the women that birthed them, I will say it again, the women that birthed them, I will say it again, the women that birthed nations. I refuse to stay compliant as you tear down the very individuals who brought you and all of your cabinet into this earth. If you say you hate drag queens so much, then why do you wear so much bronzer? Here's a tip for you, buddy. Always blend your foundation into your ears so you can listen to people better, and down into your neck so you don't look so fucking ridiculous. I will not stop dancing salsa on the street because you have fooled my country into thinking it's unnatural. Honey, dancing is the most natural thing you can do other than eat and shit. I will not stop fighting. I will claw myself out of the dirt you bury me in, breathe heavy and hoarse. I will not stop fighting for the country the Union went to war for. I will break through every door you lock because, God damn it, I want in. I will knock down any wall you try to build, starting with my neighbor's Trump sign. I will burn all Trump flags to the ground, starting with the one someone callously hung from my newspaper's utility pole. My voice will be the loudest at every rally. My vocal cords will split and split again when I wake up every morning and fight for the America I deserve, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. All right, so now who wants to go next? Mike's raising his hand. Come on, Mike Latini, you get up here. Everyone, Mike Latini.
I went into a supermarket and a long time ago, and you could still buy a product on the shelves with these little pickles, which they then called midget gherkins. You didn't even see the word midget on a product, and this is one. But it really struck me, and I wrote this song about a midget gherkin. In fact, a midget outlaw gherkin. And it goes like this. I am a midget gherkin, forced to steal and rob. My mother isn't working. My father has no job. We sold all our possessions. We sold our gherkin car. We sold our old apartment and moved into a job. And once we joined the circus, and working there was fun. And no one could outgirk us when there was gherkin to be done. But now we have turned outlaw. We steals and robs and kills and takes the simple things we need from cucumbers and dills. And though I am a midget, I'm not the least ashamed because even giant gherkins all get eaten just the same. So while your teeth are working, won't you say a little prayer for a midget outlaw gherkin on his way he knows don't wear? Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, for being the comedic relief we all needed after my serious poem. Up next, I'm going to have George come on up. Come on, George. You're going to wave to me and everything.
So this is a little weird for me because normally I can hide behind a keyboard. I'll give you a little background to the poem that I'm going to read you. And it's very old. I wrote this, I think I was about 26 or 27 years old, so that's like about 15 years ago. I grew up, my parents had a concession stand at a beach in New Rochelle, so I grew up on the water. So, and I worked for New York Telephone and whatnot, and I drove around in a van. As you can hear, I didn't say I worked from a van, I drove around in a van. So anyway, one day it was like the winter time, and I drove into the parking lot of the beach area, and there's rails, and Long Island Sound is out there. And this poem came to me, and it's called To the Sea. So this is what it's all about, staring out to sea. A good woman by my side and a child at our feet. The wind takes on the rocks and sand, the gulls play with the breeze, and I've taken on a family, and for once I feel at ease. There's a woman standing by the rail throwing flowers to the sea. Her dress is lily white and long, her black hair is to her knees. And I want to ask her what she knows that no one else can see, but I leave that to her sorrow, to the swans and to the sea. Some men raise their hands and shout, screaming out to sea, as if there's someone out there who knows what their life really means. There's a child walking by the shore collecting seashells from the sea, and an old man watches from afar, wondering how long it's going to be. And I watch here in amazement at everything I see, and a lonely tear rolls down my face. Again now, I taste the sea. Thank you.
No need to hide behind a keyboard for that one, George. That was amazing. Next up, we're going to have William. Yeah, let's go.
I have three poems dealing with the seasons. This is called Southern Perley. Everyone knows that no two snowflakes are alike. Yesterday, the snow lay still, comfortably white over everything. Spidery shadows made by light and trees dance over their white beds, slowly. You can try, but you can't catch a shadow. Today, it's warmer. Snowflakes are falling, and you can't catch even one of them before it melts. Nothing is the same as it was, even for a day. And we stand, resolute and shivering, in the melting hope for eternity. Well, this one involves the first year of my life, and the 4 seasons that I went through. The poem will explain. The first year. There is an affidavit that my life originated in November 1942. I had no mind at the time, but I had an imagination. Or more truthfully, that's what I imagined. So the first segment of my first year of seasons, the year of my occurrence, was as I imagined my imagination imagined it was. Fall. My eyes fluttered in a chilly breeze. It was too soon to see. My ears were withered leaves. I was pink and white and gray. It was too soon to see that my toes were little petals, and the big ones looked like acorns. The breeze rolled over my head and made my bottom cold. My breath was a fog. All I wanted to do was sleep, which is what I did. When I woke up, it was the second season of my first year. It was in the middle of what I learned later was winter, and I was covered in ice. There was a crystalline glaze over everything that was me. Of course, I still couldn't see, so I had to imagine the icy condition that was me. Actually, it was more of a feeling. Nothing moved. Time didn't pass. I was frozen solid. My breath was fog. Time started to drip by, a sudden sensation. And I imagined motion of turning. I was on my back. Or maybe I had rolled over. And then it hit me. I was melting, dripping free. It was exhilarating. I splashed my little pink feet in puddles I imagined were thereabout, on what I imagined was the ground from which I floated away, riding the flood waters of the spring melt. I remember with as much as my 6-month-old mind could imagine, going over and under, sliding at the surface and rolling beneath until I was washed, tossed, or projected. It's hard for words to catch up to the imagination. Onto a sandy bank, where I burst into flames. The sun was to blame. It's what makes it summer. My imagination didn't let me smolder into ashes, so you needn't bother to worry. I was picked up and put into a basket with onions and carrots. And sat down in a cool, dark place. Or maybe I was in a swinging thing, I think, or imagine. That I could see things above me. I was bounced up and down. And now I was warm, not on fire anymore, not alone. Voices said words to me. Happy was one of them. It was said so many times that I began to understand that that's what I was. I was happy. And that was when I had a mind to think with, and so I didn't have to imagine myself anymore. So when the air began to chill and time began to pass, I could now know that I don't have to imagine that everything I had imagined was going to happen in some way or other all over again. So this is based on an article I read in the newspaper. It started out, I call this, I'll just read this way, it's called Dead Birds in 7 Haikus. Birds fell from the trees and lay on the ground and to die. The cold was too much. They were young and not ready for weather like this. Bark exploded off the trees, like circumcisions, non-denominational surgeries of cold. If birds were in their branches, the ground around them showed no trace of any bird. They had other trees around which they had fallen, dead there, where they lay. Like reading from the Bible, and the skies will darken with falling locusts or fish, and then birds will fall, and they will signal endings and hard days to come.
Thank you, William, that was great. Another round of applause. Up next, we have Mike Pugh. Come on up, Mike.
Different poem?
Different poem.
Different poem, okay.
Hello. This poem being recited is Sam's Fault. consequences of decisions of those now in power. With power bestowed, reality shown, and casualties owed. I'm trying to live life for the moment because my future's been sold. My fortune was sold. Lucky numbers, the date of my death. Living in the shambles of a wasteland with chemical weaponry tests. See, my mind is at its best. Survivalist. I'll stay alive. Searching for peace of mind. Someday I'll find I'm not deprived. I'm Jack the Ripper with rhymes. I can dissect the world in lines. Reality's landmines couldn't trap me even if I was made blind. See, I'm a daredevil serving a cause that's not my own. In my mind's eye is where reality's false justice is shown. The world is so cold. The wars may end, but never the battles. There are sheep and there are shepherds and predators who now run the cattle. Thank you. So this one is a bit more lighthearted. I like to do this one. I'm not prepared for class, I'm sorry. Okay, this is called No Idea, because I had no idea what to title it. The vast emptiness that is the dark. The wondrous mystery that plagues the mind when trying to understand. Sometimes I find myself sitting on the pier where dreams meet reality, trying to gaze into and possibly understand the mystery, trying to find an answer to the eternal question that is life. To one day know what others have not yet learned. Not to be like the majority, showing only one golden, glowing moment, but to be enlightened, to stay gold for which it seemed like an eternity, to be alien, to travel the dark as I please, to follow my own star, to capture and forever live in my moment. On the darkest, most quiet pier I wander, using my mind as I never thought or even dreamed possible, knowing that I will never know, dreaming that someday I will, and hoping that someday dreams will shake hands with reality as I sit here on my pier. Thank you. So, one more. The request? Can I do the request?
You have to.
Okay.
It's requested.
Sorry. Okay, here we go. I wrote this for the JCC for the Season of the Witch show that was held here. Yeah, no, it was a good turnout. Hi, I'm honored to be here. My name is Mike. I have anxiety attacks, and I hate when they strike. Lately, I've been too medicated to really feel enough to write. A horror fan, but there's so much less appeal to this fright. Especially knowing upcoming showings and poets would entice me to gather with my coven and recite spells on a mic. The magic combusts within me as if a fire ignites. It sparks with a vibrancy that can cast out the night. I sing jump, magic jump, as I call to my power. It returns with a surge. It engulfs. It devours. It feels like thriller chills and spark showers from scaffolding towers. Oneness with my collective. Effectively, I'm empowered. No nervousness nor fear. I feel I'm all that I can be. No need for masks put on to keep me calm when I feel less than me. I've made peace with my shadows, even the ones seldom seen. When you're mentally unstable, every day's Halloween.
Great job, Mike. That was awesome. All right, next up, we're going to have Christopher.
Uh-oh. He said, wow. That's all I wanted. I just wanted Cindy to say wow. This is part of a larger project that I'm working on. And honestly, I wasn't even planning on ever reciting this. It was going to go into the project when it's published. But so you're probably going to be the only people that ever hears it. None of my hope. This is, the title is Love is the Highest Power. Across the borders, walls and lines, beyond our words and our holy signs, a force unites, both near and far. It lives within. It's who we are. No faith can claim its source alone. No creed can place it on a throne. It flows through kindness. It moves with grace and finds its home in every place. The hands that heal, the hearts that care, the hope, the wish, the silent prayer. Each speaks the truth we all can share, that love's the answer everywhere. It wears no name, no flag, no face. It sees the human, not the race. It rises when we choose to see the strength of shared humanity. Our sacred texts, our songs, our ways, all echoed love in earlier days. Before we shouted, hit, and killed, this power was ours if we had willed. The prophets spoke, the teachers taught, the saints were named, the seekers sought, yet through it all, one truth rings out clear. Love casts out hate and dispels fear. Let love, not fear, direct our course. For love alone is life's true force. No sword, no crown, no fleeting power outshines love's light in the darkest hour. So, dear friends, please hear this call. One truth is paramount. It transcends all. From oceans deep to the tallest tower. Love is indeed the highest power. Thank you.
Chris, are you sure you want us to be the only audience that hears that? That was amazing. Thank you, Chris. All right, last on our open mic, but certainly not least, is Dave Goldenberg.
I belong to a group on Facebook called April Poems, and once a year for a month it rises out of the ashes and everybody writes poems madly for a month and then it crawls back under the rock and doesn't come out. So I'm going to actually read you two poems from my April Poems contributions. First a serious one, then a not so serious one. This one is called Another Visit from Death. People shudder to think of me. My name evokes terror, says Death, during one of his visits in my hours of waking sleep. I know you are an advertising man, and I need your help. He reaches out, and I recoil from his sharp fingers. See, he says, I have an image problem. I nod. Well, you can surely understand why. Yes, the whole do not go gentle thing. He perches on the foot of my bed. Drives me nuts. Am I really such a bad guy? I want to tell him about my cousin, Erwin, drowned at 19, and my cousin Stephen, whose second heart transplant didn't take, and the granddaughter who couldn't be born, but he interrupts, "Without me, humanity would be a curdled mass of eternal suffering. I quash misery. I give meaning to life." Say, there's my tagline. I tell him it is not an ad man he needs, but a poet, perhaps. "Tried it," he says. "That Dickinson girl, she wrote in riddles." I tell him to loose the hood. Try a Facebook page, an Instagram, takes notes. My wife sleeps deeply next to me. Through the window comes the first light of another day. "You have to leave," I say. "Leave," he says, "but it was you who summoned me." This one I wrote one morning in a Holiday Inn cafe breakfast. It's called Hotel Waffle. "Oh, thou golden platter, seductively dimpled, glistening with amber syrup, how I have longed for your crutch. The miles I have traveled, the indignities endured, fade with your fragrance and beckoning toothsomeness. I will consume you as you consume me." Thank you.
I must say, you can never go wrong with a poem about a waffle. Thank you very much. That concludes our open mic portion, but do not go anywhere. We're going to have some featured poets come up in about 15-ish minutes. Right before 8:30, we're going to reconvene back here on the stage. So take a short break, mingle, eat, drink, be merry. And again, thank you so much to the JCC for having us.